I want to tell you a story. There was a man walking on the beach and he saw a young boy picking up starfish and throwing them into the ocean. He walked up to the young boy and he asked him, "What are you doing?" And the young boy looked up at him and said, "I'm throwing starfish into the ocean. The sun is rising and the tide is going out, and all these starfish are going to die." And the man looked at him and said, "But there are too many starfish on this beach to make a difference." And the boy listened to him intently, looked at him politely, turned around and bent down and picked up a starfish. And he threw it into the ocean. And he turned to the man and said, "I have made a difference to this one starfish." And his name is Tertius.
Tertius van Staden, and I'm the son of Elly de Plessis. Sure, I almost said I'm 26. I wish. I'm 41. Purple is my favorite color. Favorite food? Oxtail, no doubt. So I love fly fishing, but I also love my work. It doubles up as a hobby because I enjoy it so much. That would be to travel to Egypt. It's always been on a dream of mine on my bucket list, and had to tour all the ancient sites, and I'm very much into history, so that would be number one. Last year, around June, I started feeling pain. I couldn't sit properly, and it just got worse and worse and worse. So I went to Tertius, and I was diagnosed with stage 3 anal cancer, where after I went through chemotherapy and radiation, but they told me that it was gone, just from examination. So I took their word for it. And then this year, the pain in everything was kind of gone for 6 months, and then it just came back with a vengeance. And I just started feeling ill, and eventually I decided, no, there's something wrong. And I went back to Tertius again, and they admitted me. And it took them a while to actually do the proper scans, CT scans, and all the scans, And when they did that, I was called into a room with the surgeon and the head oncologist, and they had diagnosed me with the highest level of cancer. And they said that, there's nothing more they can do, that is basically my death sentence. But I decided that's not where it ends. God's with me. And I packed up and I came back to Johannesburg, and started looking for other doctors, just to see, get second opinions, because to just know that your life is ending, it was quite hectic. Yeah. So the main current battle is financial. I did the chemotherapy again over here, and we went as far as we could, but it really wasn't. The results weren't there with the chemo, and this happens if you've had chemotherapy before, apparently. So. The nice thing about coming to these doctors is that there's other alternatives. And so my doctor, the oncologist, Dr. Naika, had said from the beginning that he recommends immunotherapy. And so Immunotherapy has got great results, and the only problem is that it's just not cheap. It's really, really cost intensive, but it works.
In the beginning of this year, Tertius phoned me and he said to me, Mom, I've been diagnosed with cancer. And he had a medical aid, but the medical aid didn't cover rare disease. So he had to go to Groote Schuur Hospital. They did whatever they could. He had the chemo, he had the radiation. And in the end, they said to him, he's in stage 4 and he's terminal, and there's nothing they could do for him. When he told me that, I said to him, Tertius, just come home. Just come and be with us, and we'll trust the Lord from there. That is just the outcome of man, but it's not the outcome of God's will for your life. And friends were visiting us, and they said, but a friend of hers is a surgeon, and she knows of a very good oncologist that's very well known. And she said, she gave us the number, and we contacted him, and we were given an appointment, and it was Dr. Naika.
I'm Dr. Jason Naika. I'm a medical oncologist in private practice based at the Netcare Mill Park Hospital. I've been in private practice for the last 6 to 7 years. Patient in question regarding anal cancer. It's quite a debilitating cancer, both physically and from a treatment perspective. Physically, being in a very confined space, the cancer grows very, very rapidly, can infiltrate and damage a lot of the organs in the pelvis very, very quickly. Complications of that is issues with your bladder, issue with bowel control, issue with muscles in the pelvis. It can infiltrate into the bones of the pelvis and cause quite debilitating pain, right? Without treatment, anal cancer progresses very, very rapidly. As I said, the local complications are quite extensive, can also spread to other organs, particularly the bone, lung, and liver, and those will come with its own set of complications down the line. So treatment for anal cancer is always trying to catch it as early as possible and treating it quite aggressively in order to ensure that a patient goes into remission quite rapidly. That usually involves radiation and chemotherapy up front. But again, because of the area that we are treating, even the radiation comes with its own set of quite debilitating complications. It looks like third-degree burns on your skin. You get inflammation in your bowel, in your bladder. So intractable diarrhea, urinary problems can all happen and occur while you're on treatment. If the radiation and chemo on its own isn't sufficient to hold the cancer and get it to regress, we move to a round of chemotherapy. Now, the chemotherapy that we use, because of the nature of this type of cancer, can be quite stressful and strenuous on a patient's system. We're not using light drugs. We usually go with combinations of quite potent chemo drugs. And the more chemo drugs we add to a combination or to a regimen, the more side effects the patient is likely to incur while on the treatment. So immune system problems, severe inflammation from the mouth all the way down into your gut. So diarrhea, sores in the mouth, inability to eat, loss of appetite, severe loss of appetite. All those need to be managed, and unfortunately not many patients tolerate the chemotherapy. If we're sitting in a situation like we are now, where chemotherapy has failed, not many options are available to patients. And one of the avenues we are trying to explore here is a relatively newer modality of treatment for cancers called immunotherapy. So currently, immunotherapy for anal cancer is not registered in South Africa. Immunotherapy is available, but for this particular cancer, it is not one of the indications that the funders or medical aids would pay for. But there is data to suggest that it is beneficial for some patients with anal cancer. It is registered by the FDA in the US for this particular cancer type. So that's why in our patient's case, this is something that we're looking to pursue. We've exhausted all the chemo options, and we know that without any further treatment, the cancer is going to consume the pelvis and it's going to spread. So from a person who is relatively functional, you're going to end up with a situation where loss of use of limbs, intractable pain, it's going to impact on every sphere of his life that as we know it. So quality of life is going to go down.
Hi, my name is Peter and this is my wife Tammy, and we are pastors of Acts Christian Church, a church in Johannesburg, South Africa. Elly is a wonderful friend of ours and of our family, and her husband David also attended our church before he passed about a year ago. We're so excited to be part of this project of taking hands with them to raise funds for Tertius.
Now, I've known Elly for many years, and I really want to testify to the integrity in which she walks. And not only is she a woman of great integrity, she's someone that I've always known that loves creating beauty from ashes. You know, whether it's going to people's homes and renovating and making something ugly look something, make it look beautiful again, whether it's doing people's hair or makeup or gardens. She's just got such an incredible ability and a desire and ability to help people to bring beauty from ashes. In fact, this was probably most strongly demonstrated a few years ago when her very best friend Elly had a stroke, and she took her in at that time as there was no one else to care for her. And to this day, Elly lives with her, and Elly takes care of her needs day to day to day. And this just testifies to the type of person she is. And my heart is to really say, can we help turn these ashes that are before Elly into something beautiful?
And we can attest to the fact that Elly is a woman of integrity. We know that every rand that you give to this project is going towards Tertius. Thank you for your help.
I'm so grateful for this opportunity that was given to Tertius and I to ask people if they could help raise funds for us for this new immunotherapy. It's not going to be an easy journey. It's a very expensive journey, but it's a journey that's going to save Tertius's life. And I would be so grateful for everybody's help. I know in these times it's not easy, but I know with God on our side, He will make a way. And I'm so grateful for that, and I thank you.
Together, we can save lives.